Well, Kyle Busch has tied Richard Petty's NASCAR record with his 200th career victory. Of course, Kyle's across 3 national series.
Busch used an impressive late surge through the field following a speeding penalty to win the Cup Series race yesterday in Fontana, California. He dominated the first 2 stages, but a pit road speeding penalty dropped him to 18th with 73 laps to go. And if you look around the track at a NASCAR Series event, you'll likely notice that pit crew members are very athletic. Speed, strength, and hand-eye coordination are all crucial requirements for the job. And
that is why race teams in NASCAR recruit on college campuses looking for athletes. But it's not always the big burly football player that they desire. I went to Las Vegas to catch up with a couple of former athletes who are now tire changers who just happen to be women. In a sport where fractions of seconds matter, the pit stop is often the difference between winning and losing. Going over the wall requires athleticism and coordination, but it was another kind of wall that Brianna Daniels and Brianna O'Leary had to overcome to become NASCAR Cup Series tire changers, thanks in large part to NASCAR's Drive for Diversity program.
Our idea is to expose the gospel of NASCAR to as many student athletes as possible.
Brianna was a Division I college basketball player, a point guard at Norfolk State, and Brianna an outfielder on the softball team at Alcorn State. The one thing they had in common, neither athlete knew much, if anything, about NASCAR.
I was like, well, what is it? And he was like, I don't know, but you know, it's just another avenue to be competitive. So I went for it, and yeah, at Alcorn there was like me and then like 10 other football boys.
Showed up in the gym with guys. I was the only girl. Ended up doing a really good job, and I got invited to the national combine in order to train to come back and be a professional. And yeah, the rest is history.
Now the two are inseparable. They're roommates off the track and teammates on it as a part of the pit crew for the number 52 Ford driven by B.J. McLeod. They both love their jobs, they make a good living, and have found the perfect outlet to feed their competitive natures. What's more stressful? The game on the line, you have the ball in your hands and you're down by 1, or a pit stop?
I would say a pit stop, but both of them give me that same adrenaline rush, you know?
It's the same. You get the same feeling in both. Either way, you have to do your job and you have to perform, and the same thing is on the line, you know, winning or losing.
Brianna and Brianna are living proof of the success of the NASCAR Drive for Diversity program.
They are both pitting in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, premier series in NASCAR as a tandem, and it isn't a gimmick. It's something that they really want to do and are excelling at, so that's why we're so excited.
So we're 2 tire changers that happen to be women, you know, that's what that is.
Meanwhile, the hard work and the improvement continues, and so do the goals in the sport.
I think an everyday goal is to get better so that you can meet the ultimate goal of, you know, being on a Cup team that is running up front.
I guess the next step is to get signed to a front runner Cup team. I know that's a huge thing to put on myself, but I'm always constantly setting goals for myself, and I believe I can get there one of these days.
Now, the 52 Ford finished second to last in Vegas, but Brianna and Brianna know that if they continue to hone their craft, the sky is the limit. And get this, Katie, on a top-tier NASCAR team, pit crew members can make between $75,000 a year. That's on the low end.
Yeah.
And some of the best can make up to $260,000 a year.
Woo.
And really, you talk about the amount of hours they put in, you could almost say it's a part-time job.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that they get to fuel their competitive spirit. I love that you got to say that, because that's got to be hard after college when you're a student athlete like that.
Sit behind a desk?
Yeah, that's got to be hard. That's a cool job.
Going over that wall is dangerous, it's athletic, and yeah, it's not just for the boys anymore.
I love that.
All right, 8:26 is your time coming.